Hey guys, it's Pixel, and today we'll be reacting to Jaiden Animations. If you don't like reading, I've got their book for you video. I might have seen this video before, but I don't remember it. So if you're excited, keep watching and enjoy the video. Alright, we're gonna start the video.
This is a weird video to follow up with after I just talked about how much I don't like reading for like 7 minutes. But I guess it kind of works out because
that's pretty weird.
Obviously seen that video, right? We don't have to talk about my tragic backstory that's left me in
we'll react to that after.
So what book could someone like me who's
Soul crushing shambles
the past haunting memories of reading call a favorite? Harry Potter? Lord of the Rings?
No.
Grapes of Wrath? Nope.
No.
None of these revolting pieces of literature hold a candle to the masterpiece. Leave It to Pet, The Misadventures of a Recycled Super Robot.
Oh yeah, I heard this in this video.
I'm not sure.
He's like, he's a pet.
And I'll preface
he's like a guy.
It's a manga. Do I want to get into the debate if manga, comic books, or graphic novels are considered real books?
A manga?
I don't think so. I don't actually remember how I stumbled onto this book. I remember owning it, so it might have been a gift from my parents or a friend, but your guess is as good as mine. We can say it's a gift from the Lord. Leave It to Pet, The Misadventures of a Recycled Super Robot, is about this 9-year-old boy, Noboru, who recycled an orange juice bottle. The recycling plant wanted to say thanks for recycling and sent this little bottle robot called Pet to rescue him whenever he needs help or is in danger. Sounds great, but the catch is, Pet is actually trash. Just kidding. Pet's childish, easily distracted, and overly confident in his abilities, which results in him making situations comedically worse and not being able to fix anything. Also, I don't know if you picked up on this, but this is not a high reading level book. Don't make fun of me for liking it. The book starts off with Pet introducing himself as Noboru and his friends are being picked on by bullies. But when he arrives to save the day, no one understands what Pet is, or is supposed to do, or why he's here. Obviously. What would you do if this thing walks up and starts talking to you? So Pet explains, I'm
Smash
you
reference.
recycled the other day. And Noboru's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And Pet's like, I can't believe you don't remember. Freak. And the dynamic is there. There's not really a specific story.
Some people.
It's more episodic chapters where the characters are in different everyday scenarios that just get a little out of hand. And Pet, of course, is being a little bag of trash, complicating things that should have been an easy fix or weren't even problems to begin with. Chapter 7 is a good one. Noboru is out fishing with his friends and his line is caught on some rocks, so he calls for Pet. Leave it to Pet, what seems to be the problem? And as Noboru is explaining,
leave it to Pet.
Overpowered by the current. Not a problem. It's like it never happened. Pet assesses the situation. I see your hook is stuck at the bottom of the river. Ka-ching, ka-ching. I know exactly what to do. Whoosh. And he cuts the line off. Noboru's like, what the heck, dude? And Pet's like, what, you wanted that old thing? And he's like, yes, of course I wanted it. More characters are introduced later on, but my favorites are P2, where in his debut when he's describing how he's the new and improved Pet model with his 200% faster speed, larger body, but lighter weight. He blows away because he's so light, and Pet's all, dang, that's awesome, and explodes off his arms and legs to try and be lighter too. I wish humans could do that. Also, Bottle Doggy is a great character. You drag his limp body around on a leash. I think the reason I love this book so much is, frankly, a lot of nostalgia. Not sure a 20-something-year-old would pick this up and deeply connect with Bottle Doggy's character arc. But the author, Sonishi Kenji, also created, in my opinion,
Bottle Doggy has a character
I just want to have in my life. And 11-year-old me was obsessed with. Pet became one of my favorite characters for a bit, and I would draw him all the time. In class, we had our desks arranged in groups, and I had a bit of open space on the side because my desk was on the corner. So I drew a little pet and stuck him on the side for the world to see how much of a stan I was. No one cared. Why you drink orange juice? I would make my own little original characters of bottle robots that I would want. I believe the original term might be trash soda, and recycled extra things in hopes I could have my own pet. I was really big on imagination and stuff as a kid, so anything that played around with enhancing reality in fun and creative ways was right up my alley. And it taught me how to recycle, so you're welcome, Greta Thunberg. I don't think I've ever heard anyone talk about this book. Ever. It seems like it slipped under the radar for some reason. And I think it deserves more love because the humor in it was suitable for 11-year-old me, and I bought the book to read through again, and the humor is still suitable for me. So either it's fun for all ages, or I haven't mentally progressed since grade 6. Of course, naturally, there's nothing wrong with having things targeted towards certain age groups, but I think there should just be more things like Pet, the Misadventures of a Recycled Super Robot, bringing families and people of all ages together with his charm, froggy hat, and massive glistening samurai muscles. I'm telling you, there's something in here for everyone. Sure, the story is pretty simple, but the humor...
Jaiden never talked about Pet having a froggy hat. I didn't know Pet had a froggy hat. I want to see more Pet and froggy hats.
Which I always value the most. It's great for all ages and doesn't try to dumb anything down to baby younger readers. I think it's easy to think kids are children until they're not, but they're still people and can tell when they're being talked down to. Now go file your taxes, pathetic little boy. Anyway, I just really like the book. It's cute, funny, it reminds me of Ari if Ari was a recycled super robot made from an orange juice bottle. You can read the whole thing in like 20 minutes, if not faster. If I were to critique one thing, I wasn't too keen on how they kept introducing new recycled robots, and the crew just started getting a bit too crowded by the end, in my opinion. I liked when it was just a few characters, and would have liked to see them play around with more ideas instead of just bringing in a new character to depend on new ideas for. But Bottle Doggy was a masterpiece. He can stay. There's actually 3 other books that come after it, but I haven't read them because I'm worried that they won't be as good. And I want to remember Pet as the example of perfect literature it is. Are there hundreds of books that I would probably enjoy more than this one if I gave a chance? Yes.
Yes.
But am I still going to end the video without giving a reasonable explanation for me not trying to find them? Yep.
Yes.
Hey again, it's me.
Double yes.
Thanks for watching the video. I wanted to say thank you
Jaiden
to
panel is so good.
The charity live stream the other day. I was blown away the entire stream. And you can probably tell,
I'm gonna watch the end called. Why not?
To do anything the first 30 minutes because I was so blindsided with support.
Can't get yourself to do anything.
$30,000, and we raised $260,000 in 4 hours. So thank you to everyone who was there, participated, donated, everything. And thanks to Sean for putting it all together. I had fun, and wow, you guys are just amazing. But don't let it go to waste. Make sure you still stay inside, stay quarantined, wash your hands, everything. We're all in it together. Anyway, thanks for watching my
video. This video was posted during COVID, if you couldn't tell. Okay, wow. If you didn't know, Jaiden was talking about her video where she doesn't like reading, so we're gonna watch that next. Alright, so, we're back, and we're gonna watch Jaiden's video about not liking reading. Let's get into
books, libraries. It's all boring. I don't know if that's an unpopular opinion or not. When I was growing up, it was pretty normal. But now I always hear people gush about how great it is to bundle up in a warm blanket with, quote, a good book, while the faint light of the fall evening peeks out of their cracked windows and hits their collection of plants perfectly. They've got a warm cup of chamomile tea they've prepared with the Keurig they use daily, and actually, it's a funny story. They were about to get one at Target because they were on sale, but they received one as a gift instead. What a coincidence. And they have a cat. I'm not saying that isn't a poetic life you've got going on over there, but I still don't like reading and have a cat allergy. It's kind of complicated. The thought of reading sounds really nice to me. It's supposed to be calm.
Not anymore. If you didn't know, Jaiden actually posted a video the other day. Not the other day. It was like at least 6 months ago at the time of recording. But she got a cat. Yeah. Cat.
And good for your brain in some sort of way. I don't know how exactly, but people repeat it all the time, so it might be true. But I think I've got some weird reading PTSD from school because the other part of my brain thinks about how boring and slow and too quiet it's gonna be, and I feel like I have to take notes and memorize things and identify the plot points and know the names and symbolisms and To Kill a Mockingbird. And oh god, was I supposed to read up to chapter 7 by Thursday or 3?
Reading is not supposed to be pushed. In my opinion, it's supposed to be more like not slow, but more like a hobby. That's how I think about it.
Through it. I used to love reading. I still have the strong memory of going to my elementary school's library and being excited to check out the next Geronimo Stilton book because I loved the pictures and fun text they had. They always wrote the word cheese like this, and being able to read books that had more than 10 words on the page was impressive to a 6-year-old. Whenever I found a book I liked growing up, I would read it non-stop. I was able to crush a 300-pager in 2 days, which I don't think is considered impressive anymore, but it was in 5th grade, and look, that was the only self-worth I had, alright? But when school started making us read books by force, it kind of took the fun away from me. I don't like being told what to do with my free time, especially if you're gonna make me read a book written in the 1940s that I need cliff notes to decode just to realize that all the animals were communists. Also, it's 20.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't read and expect people to like reading after you force them to read. Like, that's not how it's supposed to work. Make it work like it's supposed to work. If you're not gonna do that, then I don't know what you want me to do. It's my rule.
Percent of my grade. I get it though. What else are we gonna do in English class? We can all understand each other, right? We're speaking English. That's gotta count for something, right? But the more I had to read really cryptic books in my spare time where the symbolism is in the color of the main character's curtains, and I'm not even observant enough to realize they had curtains, led me to not really having fun and also feeling like an idiot. I like my subtlety like I like my coffee. Splash in my face. How am I supposed to know what the A stands for adultery? I don't know. It could mean a woman for all I know. Asparagus. But all that isn't anything new. Everyone complains about English assignments. Everyone hates reading the Scarlet Letter. Everyone thinks school should die. However, something that also locked in my disdain for reading was my mom. Hi, Mom. Of course, as a parent, you don't want your child to do nothing but play video games all day. That obviously leads to undeniable life failure. So what's the solution? Make them read more. And on paper, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Honestly, I'll probably use that parenting technique too, when applicable. I think my mom made the obvious good parenting decision. But as the victim here, I believe I fell in the small minority where it had the overall opposite effect. During summer vacation, my mom would always tell me that I needed to read at least 2 books so I don't forget how to read. Whenever my mom would walk in on my brother and I playing Mario Kart together in the living room, she would ask if we've read yet today, which we would respond no, because reading's for chumps, and then she'd lock us in our rooms to be chumps. I started hating reading so much I would rather do literally nothing than read a book. There were a couple summers where I faked reading entire books because I just didn't want to read that much. There was this one about dragons, I think, called The Secret Country, and I still remember that just looking at the cover would put me in a bad mood because of hatred association. Screw your secret country. When I was being forced to read, I would sit angrily on my bed, open the book, move the bookmark a reasonable amount forward to make it look like I read, and then just sit there for 30 minutes staring at it. It was boring, and I don't know what was wrong with me. I could have had at least a decent time if I just tried to read the dang book, but I guess it turned into a dignity thing. Actually, the ironic part is maybe a year or so later I decided to restart the same book and give it another shot on my own terms, and I finished it in 2 days. It was pretty good. I did it again with another book called Molly Moon and the Morphing Mystery. It's like the 5th book in this Molly Moon series. It's been a while, so I don't really remember the story, but it's about this orphan who can hypnotize people and has a pug. Anyway, it's funky because I actually read the first few books of the series on my own and remember really liking them. I would read them any chance I got, but as soon as I was forced to read this one, I just decided I'd rather literally waste my time and sit alone rebelling against reasonable parenting. But this time I never went back to read it. I think that might have been the point of no return for me. I think the association of reading as a necessity or some sort of punishment has deep-rooted itself in me, and now I just feel like reading isn't fun or I'm in trouble for something even though I live alone. I've tried listening to audiobooks, but honestly, they make me feel really lonely. I don't know why. It might be the lack of visuals. I like pictures. And also no one...
Audiobooks are good. I like audiobooks. What do you guys think about audiobooks? I don't know. 'Cause, like, they're all good. You look good. No, nice. Nice, you know? You just sit down and listen for like an hour or two. And you just sit there. And that's all you're gonna do. For like an hour. And I'll make it sound bad, but it's not. It's actually really good. After this video, everyone watching this video should go read an audiobook. And if you don't,
else is around. It's the same with music. I've never been a big music person, so whenever I try to sit down and do something while listening to music, it somehow enhances this feeling of being alone and like time is going by slower, which makes me uncomfortable. So I always have either YouTube videos or more recently Twitch streams in the background. I'm still not super used to Twitch yet, but I like Ryukar's stuff. He plays Mario Maker. Sometimes I wish I read more. It might be good for me to slow down instead of always consuming fast-paced content on the internet, but on the other hand, I think it's just a preference I have that's been cemented with bad association. If you like reading, I think that's really great. I've got a lot of friends who like reading, and it's cool that you've got a really nice hobby you can fall back on to de-stress, or however you people feel while staring at words all day. I was gonna say you should recommend a good book I should give a try, but I took a second to think about if I would actually try to read any suggestions, and being real with myself, the answer is no. So, enjoy that chamomile tea.
Hey, how's everyone doing? At home, I suppose? I'm lucky that I work from home and rarely leave the house, so quarantine.
Okay, so we're not gonna watch the end card this time, but those were good videos. I think I liked the second one more. It went into different topics about, you know, different stuff. It wasn't just like focusing on one thing, but this is a new video style, and depending on the feedback we get from this video, me and Stahl might make some more. We might even make some together. So if you want to see more videos just like this, then like and subscribe, and we will continue posting soon. And this is the end card, I guess, but we don't have an end card, and we're gonna make one. Okay, goodbye. Remember to read your audiobooks. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!